Last year I posted a video in which I showed an email I sent to Wayfair when I rejected them because I refused to work with a company that collaborates with ICE and sells them products to further their inhumane operations. Fuck ICE, fuck Wayfair, and fuck anybody else associated with ICE too. There were kind of a concerning number of people in my comment section who are entirely deranged and
She says, "Oh girl, I want to be same level of Delulu as you are. Thanks for the list of companies I will support with all my heart."
will now give more money to the companies doing genocide and human rights violations. I don't want there to be detained children. I don't want people to be shot point blank in cold blood while they're trying to drive away. I don't want...
Is she referring to Renee Good saying being shot in cold blood, point blank as they're trying? Yeah, let's continue.
People to be killed. I don't want anything more than to abolish borders. Where you were born shouldn't have to determine what your life's prospects are. And you should never be punished trying to improve your life for yourself and your family. Abolishing ICE is the neutral position. I refuse to associate myself with the fascistic actions of our government because I think it's disgusting. Anyone and any company, any institution continuing to work with them, I don't want to be associated with your brand. Please stop reaching out to me. How dare you continue to believe your shitty furniture's profits will ever be worth more than the lives being taken by the just deplorable institutions you choose to associate yourself with. Fuck Wayfair, fuck ICE.
I'm really not understanding why these people hate ICE all of a sudden, and they hate the deportation of illegals all of a sudden. Not that long ago, President Barack Obama deported so many illegals that he got dubbed the deporter in chief. That happened. He stands to this day as the president to deport the most illegals in history. And they absolutely loved him for it. There are clips that you can find right now on YouTube, very easy to find, very easily accessible, of him talking about him and Biden, who was backing him. A safe America starts with strong borders, and that you coming over here illegally, you're gonna be going back. Like, he was so firm on defending our borders, having strong borders, and he was loved for it. The current president, he's doing the same thing Obama did, actually to a lesser degree. And the response is, F the president, F ICE. I want borders to be neutralized. I want ICE to be, done away with. What the heck, man? I'm really not understanding what they deal is. The very things that they were championing so tough not that long ago, they are the complete opposite on those same issues today. Just wow. Talk about prisoners of the moment.
Bring the name of the marketing rep who sent this to me, though, because I'm sure they're working through some outreach agency and they don't have a choice over emails that they're sending out for influencer outreach. Pro workers' rights here. Except if you work for ICE, though. If you work for ICE, I think you should kill. Hi, my name is Isa Obradovich, and on Tuesday, January 13th, at around 11 in the morning, I was escorted out of my middle school art student teaching placement. I have a script that I'm going to be reading from because I want to be very careful with my words. On Tuesday, January 13th, at around 11 in the morning, I was escorted out of my middle school art student teaching placement. I was informed that the district received several complaints from concerned parents about the video I posted the day before. In the video, I spoke about turning down a sponsorship from Wayfair as they sell beds to, quote, a government contractor furnishing a federal detention center for migrants near the U.S.-Mexico border, end quote.
Listen, y'all, I've said this before in previous videos. Sometimes you gotta just do your damn job. It's like these people don't realize that being a wannabe activist doesn't pay. that there comes a point in time where someone's paying you to do a job and you need to just do the damn job that you're being compensated for. Leave your politics, leave your personal feelings at the door, and stop posting all your trash online. Like, more and more and more people are being fired from their jobs over the crap that they choose to share online. I get the parents. I really do. If they saw that first video where she's just looking totally disheveled like a total slob going on this rant about ICE and Wayfair, I would I would feel like she has no business around young children either. So kudos to the school for taking action and firing her and escorting her off the premises, because I mean it just all checks, man. You look at her here and you just think, yeah, this tracks.
In this video, I said, fuck ICE. And at the end of the video, I put up my middle finger while saying that I believe that ICE agents should kill. I could certainly have chosen my words better and avoided using vulgar language and gestures, but my stance remains firm. I stand on the side of humanity and will not endorse any institution who supports ICE. I have chosen to keep the video visible on my page. My values and actions are always rooted in a deep love for humanity.
And that's another thing. They be so proud of themselves for choosing to keep whatever video up, even at the cost of their employment. These are the same people that cry and whine about there's not enough jobs, there's not enough opportunities. But when they have one, they don't seem to really care about keeping it intact. They want to put whatever it is, their views and opinions online so bad for rally cries of support from other like-minded people, but they're all in the same boat. None of these people are winning. They're all losing. They all end up in the same situation, broke and crying and whining about the fact that they're broke.
Including love for my own community members as a first-generation child of French and Peruvian immigrants. Members of my community are actively being killed and kidnapped en masse by ICE, a rogue paramilitary force that answers to the child rapist and 34-time felon who is currently president of the United States. I stand by my message, even if my choice of verbiage could have been more tactful. For full transparency, I've posted the email I sent to the district yesterday following my termination. Thankfully, I have the privilege of not needing to student teach in order to graduate. I've chosen to not pursue another student teaching placement since I figured similar issues would arise considering the size of my audience on social media.
But these issues are of her own making. Like, really. And that Wayfair sponsorship, was it for the school or was it for her personally? Because if they were trying to do some sponsorship for the school and she shot them down on that crap, that really immature wannabe activist nonsense that she was on, yeah, I could see why they would definitely want her out, because you are so stuck on stupid. You are so just unmoved in your beliefs. You are unable to see that you can be harming our institution as a whole as a result, because you think this or you think that. So yeah, you can't have anybody like this on staff. And honestly, I think the school kind of got what was coming to them, because there's no way that this woman should have interviewed for a teaching position, even if it was like an internship, and you guys looked at her and said, yeah, let's go with her. So you keep hiring these type of people and you wonder why you keep getting the similar type of results. Maybe be a bit more strict when it comes to practices, who you're going to expose the children to. There's certain things, and look, you can say you're judging a book by its cover, but I think in certain instances you deserve to be judged by your appearance. The septum ring, look, the septum ring is a telltale sign that they're probably mentally disturbed. I'd be willing to bet that if I see somebody like this with a septum ring, there's some far left extremists, and you're usually gonna be right. You really are gonna be right in most cases. So schools, do better when it comes to hiring teachers, because I'm so tired of seeing videos like this from teachers that just, they should not be around kids. They just should not be.
I don't want to comprise neither my values nor those of any school district. I will graduate without licensure, which I was not planning on applying for anyways because I don't intend to teach in the United States for the foreseeable future. I have the full support of my professors, which I'm so grateful for. Since around January of last year, I have been making arrangements to move to France after I graduate in May 2026. I'm a dual citizen and have been speaking French since before I even learned to speak English. I'm going to be fine. I plan to work as an artist for at least a year before continuing on to grad school.
She plans to be broke for at least a year before continuing on to grad school. That's what that is. She plans to be broke and living on some sort of government assistance until she, goes on to grad school. That's read between the lines.
Also, I have enough credits to have graduated last semester because I've just taken so many classes for fun because I love school and learning. I'm very lucky that my circumstances have made it so that this situation has no real material repercussions for me.
But
of course,
it does.
I am really disappointed that I won't get to student teach. This is something that I've been working towards for.
It has no real repercussions for her, and then she follow up with she's not going to be able to student teach. Is that not a real life or materialized repercussion? What is wrong with these people?
The entire time that I've been studying art education as an undergraduate, I really did give it my all in the 5.5 days that I had in the classroom. I had an absolute blast, and this experience has affirmed that I do want to teach art and that this is the path for me.
She couldn't keep this in place for a week. She was there for 5.5 days. She couldn't even keep this opportunity in place for a week.
It's just really unfortunate that this is how the experience came to an end. I want to respect the privacy of the district, as I believe the crux of the issue does not lie with them directly. The problem is with the system at large, where education is treated as a personal
of course,
investment.
the problem is
where
everyone
the parents
else.
Are the investors with the power to pressure teachers and even entire districts into capitulating to their personal beliefs. I've also made the decision to keep the district's name private in order to prevent this situation from harming Miami University's relationship with them. The last thing I want is for student teachers to have even more difficulty finding placements. This is a very rural area, and there's already not such a large selection of districts and schools available, and I don't want to jeopardize the placements of any future student teachers. A lot of folks have asked for my Venmo or GoFundMe, and though I really appreciate your concern and am truly grateful to know that my community has my back, I don't want to accept donations. Actually, student teaching is an unpaid internship. I'm not losing any income due to this ordeal, thankfully. My wish is that you donate any amount that you considered sending to me directly to Yazan and Mahmoud's families. They are living in occupied Palestine, surviving a genocide, and they need your help way more than I do. I also sell prints on my website, and 100% of the net proceeds of my prints for Palestine are donated directly to their families. If you still want to support me directly, though, I have prints and original pieces of art on my website. Our struggles are interconnected, and I know that I stand on the right side of history. I know in my heart that looking back on this moment in 20, 25, even 50 years, that I'll be proud to have stood for what I know to be right. I'm only going to resist even harder. As Egyptian-Canadian-American author Omar El-Akkad says, one day, everyone will have always been against this.
Sure, lady. Really, there's always a type for this. And I hate to stereotype, but there always is a type from this. White, overweight, septum ring, colored hair. When this archetype comes up applying for a teaching job, you should immediately shoot it down. Like, really, you should. They're going to say, oh, it's discrimination or whatever, man. You know the signs. So it's like, stop pretending like, oh, this one's going to be different. And then it turns out they're not. You guys brought this lady on board, and 5 days later, you're escorting her out. You should have known better. I'm going to leave it there, you guys. Let me know what you think. Hit me in them comments. I'm going to holler at y'all soon. Peace.